Hi loves, welcome back to another video. My name is Alizé and I'm your favorite black transsexual. Get up into the big part or whatever. I'm back. How y'all doing, girl? You already know what this black transsexual is having to do, girl. I'm having to push out this content for y'all, girl. Boom shakalaka. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, girl. I'm going to be giving y'all another story time video, but today's story time is about me getting misgendered. So buckle up. Before we get to today's video, girl, I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe because you will never find another ghetto black transsexual like me. Hello. I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. Get up into the big part or whatever. Go ahead and lock in on myself. Alrighty, y'all. So this story time takes place literally a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to try my hardest to, act, PG for you guys or whatever. So buckle up. So you guys know I work at a restaurant or whatever, right? And I'm the type of person, I'm not ashamed of working a 9-to-5 job. Like if I gotta work a 9-to-5 job to pay my bills, I will. I am trying my hardest just to make ends meet and just to, sit over here and have something going for myself, if you get what I mean, right? So like I always tell you guys, there are times where I do not look gender affirming, aka I do not pass. There are times where I do look like a man, I sound like a man. There are times where it's going to be given that I'm dressing like a man. You get what I mean? Like there's just times where I don't look like Alizé, okay? Right. So I'm not gonna lie, I think it was like a Wednesday. No, it wasn't a Wednesday because it was a super busy night. So we're gonna maybe say a Saturday, right? It was a Saturday night at my job. I work at a very irritating, frustrating, and nerve-wracking job that sometimes really makes me want to spaz out on people. But yeah, let's just keep it between us, right? So one of these days or whatever, right, I was coming into work. I was already tired because the previous day I literally got off of work and I pulled a double shift. That means I opened and I closed, girl, and I was exhausted. I also had to close with somebody else. I was just over it, right? So immediately when I walk in the building or whatever, right, y'all, I kid you not, I just literally see chaos. Like there's 20 pages on the screen, y'all. There's I don't even know, there's like mop water and just nastiness all on the floor. I don't know if y'all ever worked at McDonald's, but you know how the floors get like slippery and stuff. Yeah, let's just imagine the floors was like that at McDonald's or at my job or whatever, right? So yeah, and I'm trying to go sit my bag through or whatever, and I'm like saying coming down the line or whatever, right? And y'all, I kid you not, this person hit me with the buzz tub. Like it's like a buzzer tub or whatever, right? I was over it. I was already over it. Like 5 minutes into me walking in the door, I'm already, it's just not giving the vibes or whatever, right? So then one of my managers, let me say it like that, one of my managers came up to me and they're like, Alizé, we need you to clock in, we need you to clock in, we need you to clock in. I'm like, okay, just give me a second. I had to, gather all my thoughts real quick and I'm gonna clock in, okay? Just give me 1 second, right? So when I got out the bathroom and, I gathered all my thoughts or whatever, right? I come back into the kitchen or whatever, right? And so the manager who, wanted me to clock in, I was going up to her. I'm like, are you closing today? She's like, oh, no, I'm not closing today. I'm like, girl, you going to leave me? You want me to clock in so early? No. Like, no, you're going to stay with me. She's like, I love you, but I can't. I'm like, oh, my God, sister, like, you can't do this to me. And so then I asked her what manager is closing. She told me what manager was closing. Y'all, the manager that was closing, we're going to have to give him a nickname. We're going to have to call him Grinder Gay or whatever, right? Because, yeah, this is going to be between us or whatever, right? So the manager that was closing this day, we're going to call him Grinder Gay, like I said, or whatever, right? So Grinder Gay or whatever, right? He has a little sass to him. Like he is a little sassy, if you get what I mean. And he flirts with all the girls there, literally flirts with all the girls there. And when I first got to that job, I was kind of like, I wasn't even real fish if I say in my opinion, but I was fish, okay? Let's just say it like that, right? And, he was cool with me. We was cordial. It was just like break business strictly or whatever, right? But when I started wearing my butterflies and I started to look like, like exotic per se, like exotic and like, people, people's terms, if you get what I mean, like I'll catch him like ever so slightly staring at me and I'm like, what are you staring at? Like, boo. So y'all, I kid you not, y'all, I literally see him or whatever, right? You know, he's like, I need you to tuck in your shirts. Why do you have all this stuff on today? I'm like, hey, okay, hold up. I don't know who made you mad. I already know this chaotic. Okay, I'll tuck in my shirt, but I'm gonna need you to calm down. I'm serious. I'm gonna need you to calm down. And he just looked at me and he's like, okay, and he just walked off. I'm just like, oh my God, it's just not giving the vibes or whatever, right? And so mind you, I clock in, I tuck in my shirt, you know, I'm in uniform or whatever, right? So, you know, I'm like carrying out the trays or whatever, you know, I'm screaming, coming out, coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out. And so then one time I went to this one table or whatever, right? I went to the table, it was a group of boys. And not just any boys, you already know what type of boys I'm talking about. Teenagers, literally, the high schoolers, right? So I go up to the table, right? I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of sweaty. I was kind of giving Butch Queen on the cool or whatever, right? So I went up to the table. I was like, so I have this delicious stuff right here. I also have this delicious thing right here. And I have this delicious burger right here. And while I'm passing it out or whatever, they're just all looking at me. And then one of the boys is laughing or whatever, right? And then I'm just like, oh, Lord, I'm just going to ignore them or whatever, right? And so then right before I walk off, they was like, excuse me, sir, can I get a refill on my drink? I looked at them and I was like, and I turned right back around because who the f- are you talking to, right? And so I just felt like they were playing with me. Like, in my opinion, I can understand if you see what you see and you like, oh, that's just a guy in a wig. Okay, maybe then, yeah, maybe I can understand. But the fact that you're laughing and you're trying to make little jokes, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to respect you and go be nice. I'm not going to go out my way to give you good customer service when you can't even respect me as a human being. No. So I was already frustrated with that table, right? So I go back into the kitchen or whatever, right? And so then, like, literally 5 minutes later, my boss pulls me to the side or whatever, right? He pulls me outside and he's like, so we have a few complaints about you being rude to guests. I'm like, who the hell complained now? Like, what did I do now? So, y'all, I kid you not, y'all, my boss literally pulled me to the side, like I said, and he's telling me about, like, what happened. He's like, so these guests said that you were being rude to them and that you didn't want to give them a refill. So I explained my side of the situation. I was like, I felt kind of disrespected because, like, he just started laughing at me and he was being kind of, like, weird in a sort of sense, like he acts like he never seen a person like me before. And he said, excuse me, sir, can I get a refill? Like, it just kind of weird to me. And you're demanding customer service, like good customer service? No. Like, I can understand if you got my pronouns wrong on accident. Yeah, maybe, okay, cool. Or even on purpose, but like just something just told me not to go back to that table, and I'm going to always trust my intuition, right? So he's like, well, I don't care. You're getting written up for this. You should have never did this. You should never did that. And if you're so worried about somebody misgendering you, you should go to another job. Huh? Hey, y'all, when I tell you I was trying so hard not to lash out when he said that, he didn't even say it like that. He said it more rude, literally. He said it in a very, very rude way, but it was a couple of months ago, so I kind of forgot about it, right? So when he said it, y'all, it took me so much not to spaz. Like, y'all, I ended up starting to cry. Like, the job that I'm currently at, I've never been at a job that makes me cry as much as this job does. Like, I don't know what it is about this job, but this job just has so many energy vampires. And so when he told me I shouldn't care about somebody misusing my pronouns and misgendering me, stuff like that, you act like I don't know that. I literally live in Texas, honey. I don't mean to be, rude when I say this, but this is a white state. I'm sorry to say this, but this is a very white state. This is a very conservative state. I'm a black, dark-skinned trans woman. Of course, people are not going to use my pronouns if they don't feel like it. If I look like a man, they're going to give me the stares. It's okay. I had to accept that because I'm the one who came out as transgender. I'm the one who has to suffer the consequences of being transgender in this state. I had to accept it. But if you're my manager, you should kind of understand where I'm coming from. Like, that's just where I didn't get it, right? So I went back into the building after a while. I was calming down so I didn't spaz on him and hit him with, a frying pan, girl. And I'm being so completely honest, girl, because he had me kind of beat up or whatever, right? And, usually y'all will be like, oh my God, Alizea, go to AR, go to HR, go to do this, go do that, go make a report, go get a lawsuit. I don't need to do those things because in the long run, this isn't my forever job. This isn't what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I don't care how nobody feels about me. And I truly say that with the utmost respect. Like, there has been more times at this job where I've gotten misgendered. Like, there was this one time where one of the cooks, I was asking for I can't say the condiment because it will give away the job that I'm currently at. I don't know how many people know what job I'm at, but I was asking for, let's just say, a barbecue sauce or whatever, right? I was asking for a barbecue sauce. He was like, why is he so sassy? Like, what do you mean? Like,
you cannot be for real.
But y'all, when I tell you it was this other boy, he was we're gonna call him cockeyed or whatever, right? So Mr. Cockeyed or whatever, right? He used to flirt with this other girl at this job or whatever. She was in to-go or whatever, right? If you know this job, you know who I'm talking about or whatever, right? But yeah, he used to flirt with this one girl or whatever, right? And they, I guess, were a little thing or whatever. They had a little, link or whatever going on or whatever, right? But he would be staring at me or whatever, right? I guess he didn't know I was transgender when I first got there or whatever, right? But then time comes forward, times change or whatever, right? I guess homegirl ended up telling him hey, that's a guy or whatever, right? So every time I would ask him for something, he'd be like, okay, Isaiah. Okay, Isaiah. But beforehand, he used to call me Alizea. So it's just little stuff like that I just had to be like, this isn't forever, so I don't need to get so offended by somebody calling me a man, somebody misusing my pronouns, because I do understand that sometimes I am going to look like a man, and there is going to be times where I'm just not looking up to par. It's okay. It's not forever. This isn't forever. I just had to keep going. And the reason why I preach to y'all so much about not caring about what people think about you and not caring and not and how do I even say this? Not the overreacting part, but not reacting to somebody misgendering you and just brushing it off your shoulders, because I deal with it. And I know how it feels to feel your heart is getting shattered because you're putting in so much effort into your transition just for somebody to come around and be like, man, boogeyman, butch queen to butch queen. Yes, I know how that feels or whatever, literally. But I don't know, y'all. It's just this job has really been stressing me out, and I'm just trying to make it through. Also, my wig looks a holy hot mess. My lashes look a holy hot mess. I had to go sit over here and just get some new stuff, girl. I'm trying to get a new lace front, girl. No tea, no shade, girl. Ooh, girl. When they said Alizé is a stereotype, I really am giving a stereotype, because look at me, I'm over here with the hair and stuff like that. But I don't know, y'all. I'm just literally trying to make it through. I'm exhausted. There's literally still times where I get full fish, but because I don't have mommy milkers, I call it mommy milkers, but because I don't have the thing of things, y'all, people literally be like, oh man. Sometimes some old people y'all, oh my God, I forgot to say this. There are literally so many, T supporters in this goddamn state. Oh my God, y'all, there are so many, MAGA people in this state, y'all. It's every so often I will see at least 2 or 3 tables with the MAGA hat. I kid you not. And every time I would go to the table, y'all, I literally feel so uncomfortable because 1, I'm transgender, 2, I'm black, and 3, I just don't know. And every single time I go to those tables, hello, sir. Oh, thank you, sir. Okay, madam. Okay, when they say madam, that's gender affirming. No tea, no shade. Okay, no tea, no shade. But yeah, I don't know, y'all. It's just ghetto. I'm over it. Get into the ghetto-ness. I just wanted to make a cute little video just to give y'all something to watch, because I know some of y'all might be braiding your hair, might be getting ready for your sneaky link trade. So I know some of y'all just want something to watch or whatever, right? But I love you, beautiful people. I'm going to talk to you guys later. I got to get ready to pack. I got a vlog to record, and I got just a couple of more videos to record. So I'm gonna talk to you beautiful people later. Bye, loves.